Today I have a list of 5 things moderate Muslims believe that I find to be dog shit, and to help me with this list, I have a guest, Hammo. Now Hammo is a nickname for Muhammad in Egypt. It's like Tom for Thomas, Eddie for Edward, you get it. Hammo, say hi to the nice people. You know I can hear you, right? Why am I here? What do you want? Oh buddy, if you didn't like that, you really won't like what's coming. It's about to get a whole lot worse, so just brace yourself. That's my next question. Why am I tied up? You said you'll untie me if I stop screaming. I will, I promise. But first we'll have a little conversation. I'll make it quick, okay? Do I have a choice? No. So first up, why are you a Muslim, Muhammad? What do you mean? What else would I be? I mean, what makes you believe in Allah, the God of Islam? You do have a reason, right? Please tell me you have a reason. Of course I have a reason. Let's have it then. I worship Allah because He created me. He's the only God, no God but Him, and Muhammad is His messenger and slave. Okay, Hammo, how do you know all that? What evidence do you have? I don't need evidence. That's what belief is. Believing in something without evidence. Okay, Hammo, I understand that. But what if there is evidence against it? What evidence? Well, we weren't created from clay or ribs that grows adult women, and life took millions of years to evolve, not 6 days, or even thousands of days, not even millions of days. The earth wasn't created before the sun and the rest of the universe, like the Quran says, and there is no pillars to hold the sky in place, and no magical horses that can carry Muhammad to the 7th sky to meet ghosts of prophets past. That kind of evidence. I'm sure the Quran has an explanation to all these things. Allah knows best than we do. But you haven't read any of these explanations, right? You just believe it's there. Yes, but I'm not like an expert on religion. I'm sure if you talk to one, he'll have an explanation for you. Well, they don't. But have you talked to an expert? No. So again, why are you a Muslim? I don't know. I just am. Is it fair to say that you're a Muslim because you were born in a Muslim family and raised as a Muslim? Yes. And is it also fair to say that if you were born anywhere else, you could have easily been raised to worship the sun or some other bullshit god? I guess. But all these other things are stupid. Islam is the one true religion. You know you sound like a child who thinks that his dad is the strongest man in the universe, right? That's different. I chose to be a Muslim after I grew up. No, you didn't. You're brainwashed. No, I'm not. It's not up to you. That's the whole point of brainwashing. People who have been brainwashed don't know that they're brainwashed. Do you think the Quran is the absolute word of God, Hammo? Of course it is. Okay, so you should follow anything it says, right? Well, I'm only asking because in order to be a real Muslim, you have to live by the Sharia, not a man-made law. So you would like the government to implement Sharia in the national law? All of it, I mean. Every single rule and stipulation, right? Yeah? What's wrong with that? If Allah's laws were applied, we would live in justice and peace. Everybody will have enough to have a decent life. There will be no corruption, no thieves, and no crime. Wow, that sounds nice. No corruption, no crimes or thieves, huh? Why is that? Because they'll cut off their hands? Yes. People will think twice before stealing if they knew that they will lose their hands. Okay, what if we have a wrong conviction? Then what? How are we going to give that man his hand back? I mean, cutting a man's hand. That's a little final, don't you think? And what if he repents and wants to rehabilitate himself and join the workforce? Not a lot of opportunities for one-armed ex-cons, you know? No, Allah said you only do that when you're absolutely sure. Like if he confessed to the crime or something, or if there is a lot of evidence against him. And it won't happen a lot anyway. If we started doing it, people will steal less and less. And what about adultery, Hammo? What's that? Adultery. Do you think 2 adults should be stoned to death for consenting to have sex with one another? Well, yeah. Dude, You don't think I know that you fuck your girlfriend? I know everything about you, moron. So what? God will forgive me? Allah is merciful and forgiving. Yeah, but the people in charge of enforcing Sharia won't forgive you. They will stone your ass to death. Both of you. Plus, in order for Allah to forgive you, you must repent first. You must stop butt fucking her to keep her a virgin, of course, like that's somehow different. Right? Yeah? And I will. Oh, sure you will. In the meantime, are you willing to take your one-titted girlfriend to Sudan or Saudi Arabia to have some cock-sucking child fuckers throw stones at you both till your skulls are crushed and you bleed to death? Yeah, didn't think so. So Hammo, do you pray 5 times a day? No, not 5 times a day every day, but I feel horrible about it. I hope Allah will forgive me and guide me to the righteous path. Why? What do you mean why? Why do you want Allah to guide you to the righteous path? Why do you want to pray all the time? Because God ordered us to do it. It's the reason we were created, to worship Him. Okay, first of all, created us to worship Him? What a narcissistic, egomaniacal douchebag. And second, God ordered us to do it? God ordered us to do a lot of things. But as a moderate Muslim, you don't do all of them. Why praying especially that you're torn up about? You keep insulting Allah like that and you'll be sorry, you kafir son of a bitch. Why? You gonna cut my head off? You're a moderate, remember? You didn't even have the balls to commit something like that. So answer the fucking question, bitch boy. Why is praying that important? No, I meant God will punish you for it. That's why I wanna pray. So Allah may forgive me on Judgment Day and spare me from the torment of the grave. Oh, so you're just scared of the punishment. And for the non-Muslims watching, the grave torment is some extra punishment you get in the grave as soon as you're buried after you die. Even before Judgment Day, as soon as there is nobody around after your funeral, Allah sends His angels to keep you company and torture you non-stop until Judgment Day. And that's even if you missed one of the 5 times you have to pray every day throughout the day. Just overkill if you ask me. Not just that, when you pray for Allah, He rewards you with what you ask of Him. And He makes your life so much better and happier. No, He doesn't. That's bullshit. What do you mean bullshit? I mean prayer doesn't do shit. Because if what you're saying is true, then that means that the opposite is true. That if I don't pray, I will never get anything I want, and I will always be miserable and my life would be shit. And that's not the case. Maybe not for you, but for me, when I pray to God and ask Him for something, He always gives it to me. No, He doesn't. That's crazy even for a 6-year-old to believe. So if you ask Allah for £1 million, He'll give it to you? Maybe. Why not? And Allah doesn't have to reward you with every single thing you ask from Him, because it may not be good for you. Allah knows best. You just have to keep praying for Him, and He will eventually answer your prayers and give you what makes your life better. Exactly. That sounds like bullshit to me. Can't you see what you're describing is just pure luck? Just chance. Like flipping a coin. Whatever is going to happen in your life is going to happen, whether you pray or not. But people are just stupid enough to say, hey, God gave me what I wanted when something good happens to them. But when they don't get something they wanted, or something horrible happened to them, they just say, Allah knows best, or it wasn't meant to be, or maybe it's for the best, or any other bullshit excuse they tell themselves to justify the fact that it's obvious that the whole thing is just ridiculous. You're wrong. It's not just chance or luck. Everybody who knows Allah can feel it. It's real for me and others who believe in Him and pray for Him. You're just a kafir. How do you expect anything good from Allah? Okay, but doesn't that mean that I should never get anything I want and my life would always suck? No, God could be just letting you enjoy your pathetic life now, but He will punish you in the afterlife. That's fine by me. That's a sweet deal actually. Look, maybe you're right. It wouldn't hurt if I prayed. What do I have to lose, right? Right? Okay, I'm sorry. I'm sorry if I offended you, and as a sign of good faith, I'll hook you up. I'm not supposed to tell you this, but you go to college, right? Yes? Great. What would you say if I told you that I can get you to pass all of your tests and final exams? I have some connections. I'll have you graduating college in no time. Are you serious? That would be great. How would that work? Well, you'll have to just study as you would normally and just do as much as you can in those exams. And my connections will just give you that extra push you need to pass when they're grading your answers. For a reasonable fee, of course. Oh, money is no issue. But what if I paid and didn't pass one of those tests? That just means that you didn't really need to pass these tests? Maybe the people looking at your answers felt that you need to take that class again to make sure you really understood it. Don't worry, it'll be better for you. They know what they're doing. They're professionals, trust me. Yeah, sounds like a scam. Are you aware of the definition of irony? So, Hamu, you have a young sister, right? How old is she again? 6. Oh, such a cute age. Yeah, adorable. Oh, by the way, I have the perfect husband for your little sister. What? You son of a bitch! I'll kill you! Calm down, homie. He's a very honorable man. But I have to be honest, there's a little age difference. He's 50. I don't give a shit, you sick pervert! She just started going to school. She's a child. She still sleeps with her stuffed animals, you depraved, sick deviant! How can you even think about a child in that situation? Deviant? Oh, I'm sorry. Did you think I meant that he wants to have sex with her? Don't be ridiculous, man. She's still too young. He'll just marry her now, and he won't start fucking your little sister until she's at least 9. Now his beard may scratch her face a little, but she can bring her teddy bear with her to comfort her. What do you say? How dare you joke about my little baby sister like that, you motherfucker! I don't know why you're getting emotional about this. You know Muhammad was 50 when he married Aisha, and she was 6, and he started having sex with her when she was 9. That was a different time back then. They lived by tribal traditions. People married young, and it was normal. Yeah, but that's not what Islam says. It's supposed to be timeless, right? It was written by an all-knowing God, not some guy from the desert in the 7th century, right? It's supposed to work in any time across the ages and in any place in the world. And if we shouldn't follow what Islam says about child fucking because you say it's just how they rolled back then and it wouldn't work now, why should we follow anything else the Quran or the Sunnah of Muhammad says then? Do you believe in the miracles of the Quran, like the supernatural? Absolutely. Of course you do. So angels, devils, magic, flying horses, genies, well, fortune-telling, premonitions, reanimating dead bodies, breaking all the laws of physics, healing the sick, and all the other fairy tales. You see them as fairy tales, I see them as divine powers and signs from God. Sure, so when a guy hears voices when he's alone in a cave, that's not just psychosis or he's just making it up. It's revelation, right? Exactly. And you're not funny, by the way. I'm not, but you are. How can you believe all of this shit? Because Allah told us about them in the Quran in detail, in the many stories of His messengers and prophets. And there have been a lot of scientific evidence to support those stories. You people always say you want evidence, but you act blind when you see it. You're just ignorant. Scientific evidence. Oh, you mean like finding Noah's Ark every few years? That kind of evidence? Yes, it was scientifically documented. Okay, you know what? Let's not talk about Muhammad's flying horse to space. Let's not talk about Moses parting the Red Sea with his fucking grandpa's stick. And let's not talk about Noah and his Animal Planet cruise ship. How did he build that boat by himself? Where did he get the time to do all that? A project like that with techniques from that era would take decades upon decades. And no, humans didn't live to be 1,000 years back then. There's no evidence supporting that. In fact, the evidence is to the opposite. People now live longer than ever before. So let's not talk about all that. Let's talk science in the Quran. So do you want to talk about how the Quran repeatedly says that the earth is flat and that the sun and the moon are revolving around the earth? Or that the moon is emitting light, not reflecting it? Or that the earth was created before the rest of the universe in 6 days? And that the stars are lamps hanging in the sky? How about that the Quran, which is written by an all-knowing God, has no mention of evolution, space exploration, mass extinction, fucking nuclear bombs, or even the computer chip or the iPhone? How the actual fuck Would you believe that a guy flew on a horse from Mecca to Jerusalem in the middle of the night and went up to meet ghosts in the sky? Or that jinns are watching you take showers and shits in the bathroom and you should say a prayer before going into the bathroom or they will possess you? How could you believe that? What makes you believe in that? And don't you dare say God. Allah? You know what? Fuck you. Get the fuck out of my house. Well, untie me then. I'll drop you from the balcony. Pray to Allah to send Muhammad and his magical unicorn to come pick you up, you motherfucker.